So we're going to take a look here into this beat that I posted on Instagram called Grateful Days. If you haven't heard it yet, let's take a quick listen. Yeah, so that's the sound. It's pretty simple actually. There's not many tracks as you can see. So we're going to do a breakdown of the whole beat, and I'm going to go musical elements first and then production elements later in case there's some people who are just interested in the musical aspects of it and don't care so much about what plugins were used and whatever. We're going to get into the music stuff first. So in terms of how I wrote the beat, I actually wrote it melody first on the guitar, so I was just playing around for a while until I ended up on something that I liked. And I initially was thinking I was writing an A. That was my goal, or, you know, at least that's what was coming out. And then when I finished with the harmony, I kind of felt, well, it's actually in B. I mean, it's not in B major. It's not really in B anything. It's kind of in B mixolydian, you could say, but it's not diatonic, so we'll just say it's in B, just simply B. So the melody, though, begins up on a C sharp and kind of runs down the scale. And then it hits this B, and then it just runs up a B9 arpeggio essentially. So it's playing 1, 2, or 9, 1, 9, 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1. And then it twiddles around there for a bit, and then it ends up playing this line with the raised 4 compared to B, so that's an F here. So it's oscillating there between the sharp 4, the 13, the flat 7, and the 1. So that's this part here. So a bunch of non-diatonic stuff going on in the harmony, but just this part here is non-diatonic as far as the melody is concerned. So normally, I mean, in the past, when I was kind of earlier in my musical journey, I would write harmony first, like chords first most of the time, because, well, I was obsessed, still am, with harmony and really wanted to get into it and understand how it works and write those progressions from a chord progression point of view. And then also I didn't really have a good understanding about how to harmonize melodies, especially when I was going to use more of the jazz vocabulary in terms of all the extensions and colorful chords and stuff. So I ended up writing harmony first and then kind of superimposing melodies on top, which is great. I mean, that's a fantastic way to write. These days, I actually quite prefer to write melody first. So that's what I did here. In fact, the order I think I went in was melody first on the guitar, then came the drums to create a groove. The groove allowed me to feel out where the chord punctuations would be. So then came the harmony on the keys. Then was the bass line, followed up by these kind of rhythm or supplementary guitars to fill in some of the atmosphere. So now that we've covered the melody, we can look into the harmony. And if I zoom in, Studio One, which is the application I'm using here, actually has a really cool feature where I can write the chord names up top, so I've done that. So we're in the key of B, right? So we're looking at D major 7, which is a flat 3, then E6/9, which is a 4 chord. Then I have this chord here, F augmented major 7 or F major 7 sharp 5. I love the sound of these chords. I try to use them wherever I can, but you know, they're kind of tricky to use without sounding like overly dissonant or out of place. But I actually managed to use them twice in this beat, which was almost by chance that occurred. So here we've got the first one on F, which is the sharp 4 degree of the key. So we've got the flat 3 chord, the 4, the sharp 4 with this major 7, sharp 5 sound, back down to the 4th degree, and then we're to the 1. And in this case, the 1 is not straight major, it's a dominant, right? So we've got a B9 chord, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, and 9. And then the last chord is another one of these major 7 sharp 5 chords. And I'll zoom in so we can see the full name. It's A augmented major 7 over C sharp, so it's first inversion. And I was thinking of this as a 5 chord leading in back into the D again, essentially, and a way to harmonize this little figure here. So against the A. Might sound a little odd right there, but in the context. So we can actually drill down into the specific voicings a little bit. The D, all these chords actually contain the roots in these upper parts for the most part. I think all of them actually contain roots. So here we've got a D major 7 just straight up in thirds, D, F sharp, A, and C sharp. I'll just solo that. Then we've got the E6/9 voiced E, F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, or 1, 9, 3, 6. Then here's the F major 7 sharp 5. I've actually also got a sharp 11 in there too. So this is 1, 3, sharp 11, sharp 5, 7. And then back to the 6/9, now with a 9 on top. Yes, so not the same voicing as before, but the same chord, just a different voicing. And then the B9 chord. And then come to the end, we've got this A major 7 sharp 5. Here we've got sharp 5, 7, 1, 3. So, but the chord is actually first inversion, so it's over a C sharp. And also the supplementary guitar part here, if I just solo that, is playing one other tone. So it's playing 6, sorry, we can't hear that right now. 6, 9. It's playing 6, 3, sharp 5 against the A. So taking that into account with the harmony itself, with the key sound, what we've got is a sharp 5, a natural 6, natural 7, the 1, and the 3 over the 3. So it's first inversion. It's quite a sound. So that does it for the actual chords. Now this A major 7 sharp 5 is over C sharp, right? So this helps to lead into the D. We've got a half step movement there. That's why I actually inverted it in the first place, was to have a smoother movement between the A and the D. So we're going from C sharp to D in the bass, as we'll see in a minute. So one more time, I'll run through that harmony. So we've got the D major 7. Let's get it down here so we can see the chords. And we'll just solo it. D major 7, the E6/9, the F augmented 6/9, there's a B9, and then this is the A thing, and then back in. So that's the overview of the chords. Now with the bass here, I'll just solo the bass for a second so we won't be hearing the keys. So this is really simple, nothing fancy. It's just playing roots, basically. Roots and little muted notes. An octave, a slide, root, flat 7, 5, flat 7, 1, 5, down to the, well, it's not the root, I guess. This is the third of that A chord, which is C sharp, leading into the D. So with the harmony, okay, now we've got these supplementary guitars, which I will just solo. We'll just take a listen. Okay, so this was actually recorded as one guitar. I was just this pulsing little line with 3-note voicings that represent the chords we're hearing above, little subsections of these chords. I then duplicated that line down and just chopped it at quarter notes, panned one a little bit left, one a little bit right, and then muted every other one, and we get this thing. Now come the B9, the right guitar is just, yeah, basically just playing a little B9 chord, voicing, and then the left guitar is playing little harmonics, harp harmonics that are outlining a B13. And that's it. And then we've got the little arpeggio that fills in the A. So that's all that the supplementary guitars are playing. And so we can hear everything at once. I mean, I guess we can hear the drum pattern too. So with the drums, I'm using a sequencer, which is XO by XLN, which I'm just on a trial with right now. And then I'm using addictive drums, also by XLN, to actually fill in the hi-hats and the cymbals, or some of the hi-hats anyway, the open ones. So here it is. So it's pretty straight ahead, the pattern. It's quite quantized, not perfectly quantized, but I didn't spend much time on it, you know, really giving it a distinct human feel or lilted groove or whatever. I just wanted to get something down quick to get the melody in and get the chords going. And then I ended up just digging it just like it was. So I've got this thing playing the main groove, and then the addictive drums is playing these hi-hats, open hats, and some toms actually at the end for a little fill. And that's it. So that's all the parts all together. So let's hear the whole groove without the melody. Now, actually, one more thing that might be of interest to some people is this little kind of jazzy line I have at the end. So this is running over the B9 into the A augmented major 7 into the D. So we can just do a quick breakdown of this line played on the keys, if I can. I think it's... So this is actually a Lydian dominant sound, so like a mixed Lydian scale with a sharp 4 or a Lydian scale with a flat 7, however you want to look at that. It's a mode of melodic minor. And I'm playing in the line the sharp 4, sharp 11, 13, flat 7, 1, flat 7, 13. And then... So this is an enclosure around the 9 of the B. So I'm playing it's flat 3, 1, flat 9, 9. So, and then, so after the little enclosure move, then it's coming back down to the flat 7. This is still in the B. Now it's changing chords to the A augmented major 7, and I'm playing 9 against the A. So 9, natural 7, natural 6, sharp 5. Into the 9th of D. So when the chords move back to D, I land on the 9th of that chord. Okay, so here's the whole line in context. And that's it as far as the musical aspects of this goes, all the notes and stuff. So I'll move on to the production side of things, which is just quite brief as to what's going on here. As far as the keys go, the keys sound, I'm using Keyscape inside of Omnisphere. I love Omnisphere, love Keyscape, so I'm using a Keyscape creative patch called Hyperclose Roads, which sure sounds nice. Really great texture to it. Then for the guitars, they are running through a virtual amp called S-Gear, which I just love. And they've got a little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression on them. Everything is fab filter. I'm a fab filter nut, so I'm using that for everything, including the reverbs. The lead guitar actually has 2 reverbs, one little room, short little thing, and then a longer hall. That's all in FabFilter Pro Rs. If you don't have Pro R, I mean, you got to get with it, man. It's where it's at, for me anyway. Then the bass is done on Serum, actually, a patch that I made. Very throaty kind of bass sound, which I just love. I mean, I love that tone in electric bass guitars, so I tried to emulate that as best as I could. And it's actually got a bit of a reverb on it too. You can hear it on the short muted notes. Because it was just a bit too dry, so I put a little bit of room on it just to kind of set it back in the mix a bit. And it's got an EQ as well, actually, with a little bit taken out for the kick and a boost here at 280 to get some of the throatiness to come through even more. Then, like I said, for the drums, I'm using XO, which is on a trial right now, which I just love, except that it only lets you use 8 sounds at one time. I mean, come on, guys. That's basically a deal breaker for me, honestly. Like, I'm not going to buy the thing because I can't, I'm not just going to load like 2 or 3 instances of the thing and try to run more than 8 sounds. So if they could just get more banks of sounds in there, I would happily pay them money. Then using Addictive Drums, also by XLN, which I just love to death. Use it for everything. It's just killer. If you're looking for acoustic drums, I mean, this is the way to go, I think. I make all my own kits on it with their kit pieces, and I just love the sounds. I use it for everything. Beyond that, the only thing else going on the master is the Saturn. I'm using Saturn actually on the drums too for saturation, Saturn and Pro C for some compression, and then yeah. So on the master, I've got Saturn and then a Pro L for limiting. So I've got no compression on the master, no EQ on the master. Just threw it together real quick to get the beat done and have it sounding halfway decent. And that's it. That's the whole production side of it too. So I hope that's been helpful for you to understand how that came together. If you liked the video, please leave me a thumbs up or a comment, a subscription, share the video, whatever. Anything helps just to let me know that you dig the content and maybe would like some more of it. If you thought there was something I could include or you'd like to hear more about, please let me know. And I'm happy to make more of these videos if it's helpful to you. So have a great rest of your day. See you next time.